Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 6420 Almsville Highway Southeast here in Salem, located in the backyard. I describe everything as if you're in the street facing the front door of the home, or the front of the house in general. So we're sitting about 10 feet out here. We're straight out from the concrete steps that are oriented to the right side of the back of the house here, the patio. The only reason I say that is I don't know if there are stairs on the other side. So anyway, and this is over near where the septic tank lid is at. Hey, we've got a white PVC clean out. There's your porch and patio there. There's the staircase. Clean out's right here, big 4-inch PVC clean out. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water just got turned off. This is such a short sewer line. We just had water shoot through the pipe. It's an actively lived in home. We're just going to leave the water off here. And I've got to be able to move. It's raining so hard today. Just got to try and get through this thing without the water glitching out the camera equipment. So this right here is going to be the drop into the tank. Nice short line. So that's the vertical drop there. First I had to go do that and gunk my camera lens up. There we go. Anyway, that right there is where the line dives down into the tank. That's the connection to it. Straight above that, you see the Y connection coming into there. That's the other reason I know that's where it's at. Normally you have a little bit more standing water sitting right here, but it's not abnormal to not have it. But the Y coming at the top of the pipe there is it's a T connection. Right when that line goes into the tank, you have a pipe that goes straight down and a pipe that goes straight up. It's a kind of the baffle system. And a similar setup you have on the outlet of the tank. That's not stuff that I look at, but just curious. Anyway, the people living here are doing a great job of keeping this thing clean. There is almost no grease buildup to speak of. The standing water there at the end of the line is so minor, I'm not even gonna put it on my report. I mean, we're talking like, it's right on this turn here. You've got maybe 6 inches of pipe holding 1/4 inch of water, if that. It's closer to a 1/16, honestly. Very nice looking sewer line. And you can keep it nice and clean like this, and it's extra important to mind this rule. You do not want grease going down these things. In the immediate, it gunks your pipes up and makes it more likely your sewer line can get a blockage in it. In long term, where it really hammers you is when you put too much grease down these, cooking oil and fats from the cooking process. That water or that grease gets out into the septic tank. The grease floats to the top of the water, and then it floats off into the drain field. And then what you end up with is a drain field clogged up with grease. So right here, I think we might have a root. Oh, never mind. It's a little. So what you've got here is a transition joint. Let's see if I can even hop over this darn thing. I wish this was a little further down line. It's immediately as I go backwards, which is the trickiest time to hop over a joint like this. The reason it's like this, though, is you've got older cast iron meshing up with PVC. It's very common to get a little bit of a lip. There we go. And it's not, we're going backwards against flow right now. That little lip will have no effect on flow. Stuff would have to be going the opposite direction for that to be the case. So cast iron pipe going back into the house. And this is one of those lines, you know, assuming, we'll see how everything looks as I pull out, but assuming we've got a clean bill of health here, this is a line I would take a look at periodically. The reason I say that, I have a sneaking suspicion this tree right next to me at some point manifested itself. That may have been the reason this line got updated, or at least part of it did. So that right there is as far, we're back inside the home here now at this point. In fact, we've been inside the home now for probably the last 8 to 10 feet at least. Everything beyond this point is all interior stuff. That's stuff the home inspector looks at. I focus on the pipe that's underground. You need to have a camera for. Anyway, you've got a transition joint where PVC is meeting cast iron, and it is right next to this tree. That is not an ideal scenario. In fact, if this is not a tree you love to death, I would suggest getting rid of it. The likelihood you're going to get a root intrusion through this transition joint at some point where the PVC meets the cast iron is extremely high. I will all but guarantee it will happen at some point. That may not be for years, but you've got a relatively shallow sewer line here. And this thing is parked right next to the tree. Hey, cast iron's looking in pretty darn good shape there. A little bit of wear and tear, which is expected to see for older cast iron. That joint there looks just a little bit out of whack, but not affecting functionality. Again, we're going backwards. Oh, we got a bunch of water coming down the line right now. Anyway, that joint there, at first I thought there was a root. It's not. It's just a lip because you've got especially very thin PVC pipe meeting up with cast iron that's almost an inch thick. So you're always going to have a little bit of juxtaposition at those joints like that. Very common thing. And the plus side is that's going against flow there, where that lip has no bearing on flow at all. So as we sit here today, we have good flow to the septic tank. Quite a clean sewer line to boot. I would recommend keeping an eye on this thing. I'd rescope periodically, maybe every couple years. The biggest concern is this tree. There's the tree, there's the clean out. That transition joint is sitting maybe 16 to 18 inches away from it. Very close proximity. And that just allows you to catch things early, and it may never happen, but after 13 years and 25,000 sewer scopes, the likelihood is quite high. So just keep that in mind. It's worth taking a look at here and there. Keep an eye on things. You can catch stuff before it causes a problem. As we sit here today, good flow to the main. Cast iron's in fair condition for its age and intact. The PVC pipe is in good shape. In general, sewer line is functioning properly at this time.